Hello my lovelies, welcome to my channel WYRD is the New Black. My name is Kat and this is a pick a stone reading on why did it really end? What was the real reason why it had to end, why the person left or why you chose to finish it. But why did it really, what was the underlying spiritual reasons for this situation ending? So we've got Tourmaline as the first choice, Rose Quartz as the second choice, Carnelian as the third choice, and a Labradorite as the fourth choice. So take a moment, be drawn to your particular stone, and as ever, I will see you on the other side. Hello my lovelies, this is for you that chose the Tourmaline here. Okay, so why did this end? Why did this situation come to a close? So what I'm seeing straight off the bat is, okay, Spirit is giving me a little story, Spirit story. And we've got like a little house going on in the cottage and it's really warm and cozy and there's a fire and there's food cooking. And then somebody turning up in a really bedraggled state. It's almost like they've been to war or they've been fighting or something like that. And yeah, I'm hearing, come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. Love that song. Bit of Bob Dylan. Love a bit of Bob Dylan channel. Yeah, so somebody here was willing to give the other person shelter. And it's because they've been going through a really rough time, or yeah, there's some kind of conflict, big conflict, force. It feels like warfare or battle, kind of, that the other person has been involved in or with this kind of fraught, maybe aggressive possibly energy is kind of battered, a bit broken up, although they have contributed to this frequency is what I'm being shown here. I mean, you can't really have a war without two sides fighting or more. So somebody here is involved in like a battling kind of an energy, and then the other person was, I think, don't shoot the messenger here, but in quite a lonely space, or in a space that felt, yeah, my guide is that abandonment was an issue for this person. And so part of the reason for this relationship in general was the abandonment, wounding that needed to be healed through. But somebody turns up, is initially really happy that they found this shelter and this very accommodating other person. So this could be you. Maybe you can, I'm not being shown who's who in this one, but I'm guessing for most of you, you'd be an accommodating energy. So somebody's offered this person shelter, and they've been really grateful initially, really happy initially, but they've not been able to get out of this warfare, this warring energy, it's almost like somebody offered peace and quiet and tranquility, and then the other person left unexpectedly, or and it was to go and pursue more battling. It was to go and re-involved, and I'm hearing in energies where the blood would be pumping. So this could be sexual involvement, but this person's got a real thing for conflict, it feels like, or a real thing for, there's just an attraction to a kind of a magnetic attraction is what I'm getting to, like some kind of combative energy. And if the other person's not providing combat, or won't engage, or wants peace, or won't be provoked in that way. I felt like it started out really nicely, and then when the person had been at war, decided that it was enough. Somebody was in the temperance energy here, and I feel like that's the accommodating person. We've got that Sagittarian energy as well going on up here for me. It's very well balanced. It's very standing in the eye of the storm. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. So I feel like the person that sort of turned up and then left again, was very in a stormy energy and was kind of a storm chaser. That's what spirit is showing me in this allegory. Somebody who likes chasing conflicted or difficult, or this person is like their own worst enemy somewhat. And I'm really hoping that that's not resonating with you, but it might be. But please don't shoot the messenger, because that's what most guide is saying. It's a storm chasing frequency. So it's something about adrenaline. It's something about like engagement in a combative way that makes this person feel like gets their blood pumping. It could be a sexual engagement as well because of that. But I'm feeling if it was a sexual engagement, then it's like fraught with conflict or combative energy, or like large fights, or like makeup sex, that sort of thing. Yeah, there's this person who likes drama and who likes to be in the thick of it, in the thick of the drama, and then someone else stands in the eye of the storm, or likes to balance, or likes to keep balance, or likes to be at peace, and it's very spiritually connected. So I'm getting that's probably your energy. You're the spiritually connected temperance sort. And this person left because it wasn't appealing to not be in a conflicted energy. This could be like, it's like really programmed into this person. It's something that they like. It's something that magnetically attracts them. They like conflict. They will attract conflict. And maybe you know this about this person. And what I'm seeing in this allegory is like spirit somebody opening the door, as in the person that's offered shelter, opening the door in the hope that the other person might come back, and keeping the door open to show that they're willing, and for a long time. And what happens is like the wind blows through, so there's a lot of air energy going on up here, but the wind blows through and decks things in the house, it kind of letting in an ill wind. That's what I'm getting. In terms of letting in this person, letting in an ill wind. And that wind in itself caused like chaos or destruction, or because it goes where this person goes. Like destruction and chaos go where they go. They just can't, well, they can help themselves. That's not true. They can. They just don't want to. They're just like, they like that kind of full-blown physical energy of conflict, and this person would be a nightmare. So the reason why this situation has gone dark is because I feel like you, the viewer, have shut the door. You're like, the person who's been accommodating has just shut the door and gone, you know what, I'm not having this wind blowing through my house because of the connection being left open to this person. And it's like, now I'm seeing people like closing shutters and such, like, because there needs to be a closing down to stop this really like full-blown kind of hurricane force coming into this space. And it may be that this energy, if there was a connection open to this person, because I feel like they just were incredibly invasive, or they just possibly invasive, but evading as well, where it just sort of came in, whirlwind, caused destruction, found fault with things because they weren't exciting enough for this person, because they weren't conflicted enough for this person, because they weren't screwed up enough for this person. There's real kind of trauma learning here that this person has attached. And I feel like it was just kind of, you can't have that kind of energy in your space without like fallout and destruction, and possibly people seeking them out. Like there's a kind of energy here of people seeking them out for like revenge or reprisal, or trying to hunt them down, or I'm hearing words AWOL. Maybe they went AWOL. I'm feeling like that's the term used from when you like desert. So you desert the army or something like that. It's a feeling of like desertion. This person may be an expert at evading and deserting is what I'm getting here, and doesn't want to deal with the consequences of the carnage in their wake, and I am seeing like a tornado force here. And I'm saying for you, like the ability to stand in, and I am saying you now because I feel like this is your energy, but I mean, you can flip it if it's reversed, although it will be a hard message. So sorry about that. My spirit guide doesn't muck around, but I feel like you stood in the eye of the storm. You're capable of standing in the eye of the storm. And even though you may have had like a lot of impact occur because of the dealings with this individual, because of the open connection to this individual, I now feel like this energy has been closed. Yeah, there's no shelter here anymore. It's like I'm seeing a sign saying the inn is closed. No, thank you. This person did not appreciate what was on offer. This person didn't understand that you're trying to provide shelter or a homely energy or like sustenance. Could be an emotional, spiritual sustenance here. A space to heal, a space to recuperate, an opportunity to deal and confront the traumatic energy associated with this kind of warring person. This person is somebody that doesn't like to stand still, that like will run when things get too bad. When the going gets tough, the tough get on. They run off down the road. And that's what I'm getting for this person. The Fool. Yeah, so this person likes to just jump into new things, but they don't really care much for the responsibility of anything, really. They're happy to leave that behind. They're like gamely want to get into a new fray, into a new situation, maybe jump straight into a connection or a love situation, jump into happiness. But this is the kind of thing that needs to be built upon. This is the kind of thing that takes time, effort, commitment, consistency. This energy could have been in and out. This person, or they could have been married to someone else. Maybe they were married to you. But I feel like, look, like if they were married to somebody else, their eyes were elsewhere. Look at the Fool, like looking elsewhere. Not wanting, but coming from a perspective of like feeling that they're in a position of teaching or wisdom, or it feels pretty hypocritical. They were just always on the lookout, on the horizon for some kind of new opportunity to jump into, or some new level of excitement. Yeah, it could be a lot of traveling in this person's energy. They may have lived in a number of locations, or may have like burned bridges in a number of locations, or caused carnage in a number of locations, so have to keep moving. And there's a lot of energy at their heels, wanting some kind of reprisal, wanting some kind of payback is what I'm getting. Some of it's very vindictive energy as well. I feel like they left you in a very heavy space, in a very, very depressed space, really having to confront these fears of abandonment, or really intense loneliness, or like a sparseness, or having, it's kind of ripping the heart out of a home space, or the heart out of an energetic space. And then this person stole something is what I'm getting. Now they might have not stolen something in the physical, but I feel like they stole they sucked the energy out of this space. And you may have had a difficult relationship with your environment if you shared a space that they departed from. It may have taken a while to build up that energy. You can't just make a house a home overnight, is what I'm getting. And maybe you were that housing accommodating force, and when that's taken away, you can't rebuild that particularly quickly. It can be removed very quickly. There's like some kind of cataclysmic tornado force that this person sort of brought with them, and it's almost like the tornado is chasing them. It's almost like a spiritual force that is on the heels of this person. You really don't want to get in the way of that kind of frequency. So, I mean, this is over because I think you've called time. There's only so long you can keep open to this kind of connection, and I feel like it ended because it had to, because even if you were in contact at distance with this person, it still brought this ill wind. Like every time the windows open, or every time, you know, the letter drops onto the doorstep kind of thing, in comes this this wind, and shit starts happening in a negative sense in the coin energy, in the physical, is what I'm getting. Got 7 of Swords at the bottom of the deck. The thieving, sneaking kind of a feeling. And I think that the fear actually that belongs to this person is what's at their back and behind you. I mean, it's not particularly easy to see, but look at the eye. There is some kind of spiritual force observing this person or at their back, and it feels very like a wind, or like a strong, powerful, have they pissed off a wind god? I don't know, but God, I wouldn't. I mean, this is a really powerful force, and if you are the person that is like running from this, go make some offerings somewhere to this entity or energy, or, you know, say sorry, or I don't know how you're going to sort of run from this force, because it's like the all-seeing eye. It's like the eye of Sauron. It can see you. It can see you, and literally wherever you go, like there's a carnage that this person creates. I mean, they really leave destruction in their wake, which is why they jump it possibly into like a seeming commitment very quickly, but then they jump out of it just as quickly. So I think you know why this connection is over. This connection is over because it's untenable. Yeah, you can't have that kind of energy coming into your house or your space or your physical zone, because a house could be your physical energy here. It could be your like physical environment or your body. And maintain a spiritual frequency that is healthy. This person is addicted to conflict, or addicted to being at the heart of drama or things going down. They may have had a past life or several in combat situations, or involved in, I'm seeing like fist fights and stuff now. So it could be like a boxer in a past life, or an assassin, or I honestly, it feels like a negative energy, though. It feels like quite a sneaky energy as well here. But I feel like the whole connection was built on this person evading something, and trying to recover from a force that was on their back. Could be another person or a group of people or a number of people in their past that were really unhappy with the carnage that they'd already created there, and not content with finding a space to heal. This person wasn't ready to heal. The Fool is it's an exciting energy, and it's a very sort of bouncing into the new kind of frequency and taking a leap of faith kind of frequency, but it's very young. It's a young energy. It's not matured. It's not really learned by its mistakes. It's foolish at times, and that's the frequency that I'm getting from that particular Fool. Queen of Swords. You've cut this person out. You're done. I feel like somebody's just gone, no, I'm shutting all the doors and windows. There's no coming back. I need a break. 4 of Swords at the bottom of the deck. I need a break from this, and I think this person is probably, I don't know, like, the sand timer. The time ran out. The time ran out here. It was overdue, the Ace of Swords. So this person could, with the Ace and the 4, that's the 5, a lot of conflict here. Somebody had to just say, you know what, I'm done. I'm defeated. This is pointless. What's the point? I don't feel heard. I don't feel seen. I don't feel acknowledged. I don't feel appreciated. I don't feel respected. I don't feel like you give a damn. I feel like the only thing you care about is like the next fray. This is the kind of person that would just attract conflict. This is somebody that will create conflict where there is no conflict. This is not the kind of person you want to walk into a pub with when they're feeling slightly off. And this wind energy that's attached to them could well be an entity attachment, is what I'm getting. and it wants to cause turbulence and chaos and mayhem. And if it's something that is within this person, which, you know, I feel like it could be, I feel like this person just is possibly quite unhinged and possibly quite dangerous, and I feel like can come out of nowhere. I'm hearing like a devil, you know, one of those whirly things that just appear, like a sand devil. I can't remember what they're called. A wind devil. They just kind of appear, and then, yeah. This person may be looking for a new beginning, or you are. These are wands energies. Could be strong sexual attraction. So they may be like they're looking out with their telescope for that new beginning, looking for an opportunity for a connection. That's the Four of Wands together, right? So for maybe there is some kind of strong connection. Maybe they're looking back at this situation. Maybe that you're taking a new beginning. Ace of Swords at the bottom. Somebody knows the truth here. Somebody has cut through a lot of difficulty, a lot of sadness, a lot of heavy energy, a lot of clearing up the crap that the other person has left in their wake, and they don't now want anything to do with this situation. They're done. Yeah, the window, the drawbridge is up. That's what Spirit's showing me. Drawbridge is up, and there's archers on the turrets is what I'm seeing. Take another step and we will skewer you with several arrows. And I feel like this is almost like your spirit team or your ancestors here saying, no, this is it now. No, you like go off on your own, go find your own pathway. Yeah, we've got the Empress at the bottom of the deck. This has been a major level up here. Not just from like the Queen, it's like the Empress. It's like full on. It's a force not to be messed with. It's like a wild energy, but in all the right ways for me, the Empress. It's you know, the wilderness and Gaia, and it's that kind of frequency of, you know, natural law. I feel like something is turning around here on this person. The Empress has come up again. Yeah, look at the way she's holding the fire. It's making me think, like, take another step and I will chuck this firebomb at you. I'm giving you fair warning. It's like, and the clock in the background again. I'm sorry, but there's too much time. Too much time has passed here. I've got the Four of Swords at the bottom again. Somebody just wants peace, and you know, and maybe recovery from this turbulent energy. So, yeah, this is like, what really happened to end this connection? Somebody caused a huge amount of destruction, turbulence. I don't feel this person would really even ever acknowledge that, or, you know, not be around even to see the carnage left in their wake, or the blood spilt is what I'm getting as well here. I don't know why those words are coming through, but they are. I feel like, yeah, it's been really hard, like a really brutal. This person may have done some serious damage here, because it, not only to your sense of safety or security or finance or all the things that the earth energy covers, but also in the emotional energy of it, like being left for dead almost. That's the words I'm getting, being left for dead. Almost, I hope there's not physical abuse here, but I mean, if there is, that's another goddamn good reason to like pull the drawbridge up, get the archers on the turrets, and, you know, lock and all windows and doors, because I just feel there needs to be some healing or recuperation. This person is live by the sword, die by the sword. That's what I'm hearing. If this person causes conflict, that conflict is really going to take a toll on this individual. It might cause them significant damage. It could well be in the physical. Could well be that the wrong person is somebody that they pick a fight with, and, you know, they get really beaten up by this situation. Or it could be like financial loss, or yes, there's something in the physical here that is I'm seeing the coins energy. Excuse my phone, I forgot about it. Yeah, Seven of Pentacles. For me, this can be the failure card. It can be that if you don't succeed, you've got to try again kind of card. But it's transitional because it's a 7, and I feel like things are turning, things are changing. 10 of Wands, huge burden. So it's the end of a cycle. But this person is going to be left. Yeah, I've seen that. Spirit is showing me a landslide. It's like somebody being in the wrong place at the wrong time and caught under all these boulders and rocks and basically all that weighted energy, all that heavy energy is your ancestors are sending it back. 4 of Cups, and this person's going to know that they missed out on something that offered them some real sustenance or beginning emotionally, or the chalice. That's what I'm hearing, the Holy Grail. Yeah. I feel like it's ended because you've ended it, because this person could not appreciate what was in front of them was a new beginning on an emotional level that had the potential to be really like the real deal is what I'm getting. We've got the 8 of Wands here. This person's upset, they feel neglected, they feel it's over, they want to communicate is what I'm getting with this energy. But they're stuck. The Hanged Man, they're stuck, and then the 5 of Pence, they're stuck out in the cold. Look, and they want to come back in again. 9 of Wands up here. Look at the injury again. This person's got themselves into trouble again, and they want to come back and take shelter again. I don't think your ancestors having it, and I don't think your spirit team is having it. And if you're having it, well, then you're going to get another tornado. So highly recommend that you keep those doors bolted. Why did this connection end? Because this person is like an untenable, dangerous force that can do a huge amount of damage with a possible entity attachment on their heels. And maybe a large number of people, maybe a small army, who are really let down because this person has just skipped out or not pulled their weight or just lost their temper too many times, or this person's really difficult to deal with, really difficult. And even though initially there might have been like a really like sense of we found each other, you're my person, I'm your person kind of thing. I don't think it would have taken long before this person's destructive wind. Sounds like they just had really bad gastro problems. Sorry. Their destructive wind caused major issues. Anyway, I think that's all I've got for you. You know full well why this connection is over, and I don't blame you. Thanks very much. Really hope it resonated. Bye. Hello my lovelies, and this is for you that chose the rose quartz here, the chunk of rose quartz. So in the channel that I'm getting in relationship to this, what I'm seeing is somebody in a bog up to their knees in like quicksand or something. It's like sinking mud, that's what I'm getting. And they put themselves there, and they feel very victimized. This is a person that may emotionally manipulate because they use self-victimization in order to get other people to go above and beyond, because there's a kind of desire to be rescued, or a belief that they should be rescued, or belief that the other person should go like the extra mile and then some. This is somebody that won't put much effort into their relationships or their situations, or because they believe everything should come to them. It should be on you or on other people around them that to come and fish them out of this bog. And Spirit is showing me that they could comfortably get themselves out of this bog at this point, but they stand there in the middle of this in this dramatic location, and say, this is what you did to me, and this is why the situation is bad, and it's because you're not making enough effort, or you're not putting in enough legwork. Sorry, I'm laughing, But Spirit is showing me that, like, you might as well be Hercules and, like, go through the many tasks of Hercules. And I'm being shown flaming hoops, and, like, an entire obstacle course is for performing impossible tasks in order to please this person, or, like, feel this person, satisfy this person, that you have kind of met their requirements. And it may be that they feel like you've injured them in the past. For some of them, I feel like there's a sense of kind of injury, or you might have offended them or something like this and instead of, and they feel like ever since, like, you should just constantly pay. And that's not going to resonate for everybody either, because I feel like this kind of mindset that they're in, this kind of self-victimization, is born from what feels to be like an unhappy childhood, or a space where they were victimized. Maybe this person was bullied at school, or there was an earlier energy where they felt genuinely victimized. And it's kind of sad, really, but it almost feels like, because this garnered them attention, negative attention, as it was possibly the only form of attention that they got at a certain stage. And as a result, this is kind of normal for them to revert or back to this kind of energetic where they feel like you should come to them. Because I feel like you've put in a lot of effort here, or a lot of legwork. This is like one of those situations where, you travel miles and miles to go and see somebody continually and upkeep the relationship, and that's happened frequently over years and years, and yet they've never actually returned that. And it's only after a while that you're like, hang on a minute, what do you actually bring to the table? Because what this person does is, like, they can be in this quagmire, and then maybe you rescue them, or maybe you get them out, or maybe you drag them out and use all your reserves or life forces or your spare cash or whatever to pull this person out of this space, reassurance, encouragement, anything like that. Or you're just generally in their camp, on their team, cheering them on. That's what I'm hearing Spirit say, been cheering them on from the sidelines to achieve the things that they want to achieve. And I feel like this person has achieved some stuff, and you've been really happy for them, but it's not returned. It's a one-way street. It's like, if you start achieving things, they resent it. It feels like, or there'll be something that they will create, or or if the position switch and you need support or you need encouragement, then they'll consider this really unfair, above and beyond that you should expect them to be in your camp, cheering you on, or offering assistance or offering support, because they feel like it's like that it should go one way. Because this person feels like somehow life owes them. This is very self-entitled energy, but it's born from a space of genuine victimization at some stage in their experience, at some stage in their life. But I feel like when they attract that energy, and maybe it's that they go dark, or that they don't want to deal, or they do it because they want you to jump through flaming hoops to try and rescue the situation, or to be the one that takes responsibility for their behavior. This person wants you to take accountability for actions that they have taken, because they just don't want to step up to the plate, because they'd rather stay in a space where they consider themselves the victim of your machinations. I feel like they've vilified you, or they've vilified others, and this person may, like, really be dramatic in those moments where they're just like, talk to the hand, I'm not dealing. And there's like this explosion of emotionality is what I'm feeling to say here, and then they'll stomp to the swamp and wait for you to come and rescue them, even if they build walls around themselves. Like Spirit is showing you, they may block, or they may yeah, they may just like clean cut you off or whatever, but they still expect you to like overcome gargantuan hurdles in order to come and save them. Save me, a kind of frequency. Yeah, and if you don't do this, or if you don't play with this energy, and I feel like some of you have kind of maybe fallen into this pattern with them at sometimes in the past, whereby you have really gone above and beyond in order to, you know, talk them off the ledge or smooth the feathers or anything like that, and then kind of had to drag them out of this slough or depression or very strong emotional space that they were in. But I feel like if you've ended up in an emotional space, or if you've become the victim of something, this person would actually attack rather than support. Is what I'm getting, because as far as they're concerned, you're the person that rescues, you're the person that's leaned on, you're the energy that owes them allegiance. But when you crumble or when you fall down, they actually feel really insecure because there's nobody there to kind of take accountability for them. So because, you know, if you've gone through difficult times and this person hasn't been there and you're like, hang on a minute, this is not, where's the reciprocation? I think it's to do with the fact that they are in this victim mode, they're in this mentality. And they just stand there waiting for things to change or waiting for somebody else to console them. And I feel like this person is very emotionally manipulative. I feel that they can turn on that energy, that they're very clever about when they use it as well. I feel like that there could be crocodile tears here, or they're very, very good at turning on the emotional content. They're very good at pretending like to have a stalwart attitude, or pretending to be like, they can be very capable and maybe they do work hard, or maybe there's, you know, they can seem very accomplished, or that they're achieving a lot of things, but when they hit this frequency, they are pathetic. It's like a complete reversion to some earlier space of, and it's kind of desperate measure. It's a kind of latent behavior that is not very clearly visible to a lot of people, or is not initially visible to a lot of people, is what I'm getting with this frequency. 10 of Cups. Yeah, I feel like actually this is a little bit of a gloss. Yeah, 5 of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Actually what's happening here, like for me, this is like presentation of everything perfect and everything great and everything happy, but underneath is this sense of abandonment or victimization or isolation or being left behind in some kind of way, shape or form. And it's sort of overlaid with this person may like dot all the I's, cross all the T's, like to all intents and purposes on social media or wherever, seem to have like a super litty existence, and it's like really super happy. But actually what's going on is this fear, this rejection, this leaving in the cold kind of, and it's like they do it on purpose. They use this frequency. I'm not surprised to see Cups up here, because that emotional manipulative concept. The 4 of Cups appearing here is giving me resentment. Actually, look at the arms folded, and that's that kind of frequency of, I'm not budging, I'm going to stand here in this quagmire. And it's really uncomfortable and it's really negative, but it's up to you to fix it. That's what I'm getting. It's up to other people to fix it when they're in this emotional space. Maybe if you're in a relationship with this person, it's like constantly on you to make them feel loved or supported, or, well, it feels like a huge emotional drain. And I feel like Spirit's either intervened with this situation, or you've just retracted, because it could feel like the other person has actually gone, you know what, they've put a wall up, or they put a block up, or they've swanned out is what I'm getting, or, you know, had a sudden meltdown, a sudden emotional meltdown that you might be like, what the hell just happened? And it could make no sense to you, or you don't understand what the problem is, but this person goes into a sullen mode. It's sullen. They don't want to communicate. It's like a sullen. Yeah, they like, if you ask them directly what the issue was, they wouldn't say so. They would just sulk Oh, I hate the sulky energy. Oh, sulkers do my nut. I mean, if you've got a problem, just say so, right? Like, have a big argument, hash it out, like, get to some kind of conclusionary space, but don't bloody sit around sulking. It's just so petty, and I feel like they use this energy. They use it. But it's resentful. I feel like there may be some collusion. They're very good at presenting this, like, it's all glorious on the outside and everything's super wonderful in their relationships, or super wonderful in their family setup or anything like that. You know, it just, life is so shiny, but hiding behind is this intense self-worth issues. There's self-worth issues here, or feeling that they don't measure up, or that, yeah, because I feel like they have to go above and beyond, and it's kind of boom or bust with this person is what I'm getting, because I am seeing, like, when you've pulled them out the quagmire, or someone else has, and they're feeling better, that they can accomplish great things. They can really, like, be like, wow, look, they just ran a marathon and climbed a mountain, kind of. They're clearly feeling better. But then, because they're not actually dealing with the underlying cause of this, there is this reversion back to a sense of self-sabotage, of self-victimization. And I feel like for some of you, you've got to a point where you're just, like, bored. You're like, I'm so over this behavior. So I'm getting this card kind of for both of you, in a sense, where it's like, I'm so over this. Because it doesn't go anywhere. It's like this person enforces a kind of stagnancy, maybe within the relationships, or maybe they just stop participating. And they want to stay being perceived as the victim. And they're not willing to work on that, because they don't want to accept accountability for their emotional content. They don't want to look at the mirror of the situation. This person will blame externals, but actually the only person to blame here is themselves, because they actively place themselves in this victimized frequency. And they do it in order to manipulate those around them to have a bad opinion of you. There's a resentful energy. For some of these people, they could wear with jealous. For some of them, they could just feel like you've abandoned them at some stage, or there's resentment, and it's underlying, and I feel like it's kind of bottled within. But actually, it's just going to create stagnation in this person's life. And if you're trying to deal with this person, it will create an exhaustion, emotional exhaustion in yours, because there's nothing you can do, really. I mean, you can pull them out a couple of times, but they keep standing back in again. And, and Spirit is like, well, just leave them to it. You can talk somebody off the ledge, or you can, smooth feathers, or you can do that a number of times. But it's just, I feel like in order for this person to be in the victim mentality, they have to vilify. Somebody else has to play the big bad monster, and that could probably be you, or it's other people around them. If you're not available, it's going to be other issues or other situations, and it's always going to be deeply unfair. It's going to be really unfair on this person, and because I just don't feel like this person recognizes karma or anything like that. And they may not be lacking spirituality, they may not be lacking in emotional awareness, because this person is very capable of emotional manipulation. And there's part of them that knows that this is not authentic to who they are, is what I'm getting. But I'm if they can get away with it, that it's habitual. So it's kind of like the consequences of this behavior have to get worse and worse. Losing you might be one of those consequences. Like, the reason why it's over is maybe because they've made it impossible for you to, because you've just looked at the Herculean task in front of you and gone, oh, do you know what, ain't nobody got time for that. And I don't blame you. This is an energy that, like, my spirit guide is saying, just leave them to it. They'll be up to their neck in it before they know it, because nobody will want to keep bailing them out on an emotional level. It might not be on any other level. It might just be purely on an emotional level. But I mean, if you're not involved in a relationship with them, somebody else is, it's going to be very exhausting for whoever's involved with this person. to keep trying to bail them out. This is like somebody determined to utilize the victim mentality. I don't even think that they perceive themselves as a victim here. I think that they just use it to get away with holding on to resentment or stagnation or it's just an excuse, it feels like. Ugh. It's a bit icky, this energy. Yeah, I think you see the truth of this. I think you understand that. I think you may have cut away from this or cut through to a point where you can understand why this person behaves the way that they do, why this situation has to be, why there should be communication, there should be clear-cut communication. But I feel like this person holds themselves back. And I feel like you see and understand the truth of the consequences of creating karmic situations. There's justice up here. I feel like you're very fair, you're very balanced, you're very open to communication. I feel like even if you have victimized them in the past or there's been some kind of injury here, I don't feel like you're the kind of people that wouldn't say, well, let's talk about this, I'm willing to own my bit of things. But this person is not willing to own any of it, which is probably why they don't want to communicate. They wanna stay in this kind of slough of frequency where they can claim to be. It's harder for them. It's worse for them. It's a competition with this person. They're in some kind of competition with you. A lot of these people, they want to do better, be more successful, like be the winner. And maybe this isn't your fault, or but anything that you do to, whether you're genuinely victimized, they will resent you for it because their victimization is fabrication, or whether you're generally winning, they will feel victimized because they will feel like it's pointedly, it's like your success is intended to hurt me, or they'll take things personally that are not remotely personal at all, that you're like, well, it's just an opinion, or that's, maybe your opinion's different, but this person will take it very, very personally if you don't fully support them in every freaking way imaginable. This person is exhausting. And so there has been some kind of intervention. I'm just going to pick this card up. Queen of Wands. I feel like this is your energy, and I feel like there's a lot of dynamic, possibly fiery, possibly feisty energy around you, which I don't know. I think this person actually does love that with the Two of Cups at the bottom. I think they really do. If there's a romantic connection, I think they think that you're like the dog's bollocks, basically, is what I want to say. You are like very appealing to this person. But otherwise I feel like they might resentfully consider that you are too arrogant, or you're too demanding, or you're too... all the things that they are, all of the things that they are, they will perceive you as being. They have to do this in order to continue their fabrication of being the victim in this situation. Yeah. This person, I feel like there are underlying unresolved anger issues with this individual, actually, and it may be that it's been repressed, which has led to maybe bouts of depression here. I feel like there's a lot of frustration that needs to be expressed, and it feels like it needs to be expressed to someone other than you, and I don't know who that is, or maybe, I don't know who that is, but it feels like it either predates you, or it's I just flicked a card on the floor, oh my god, it's like it doesn't want to go away. The Five of Pentacles. I feel like this is actually telling me that this is to do with some form of sense of feeling isolated or abandoned, or kind of left out, or just rejected, or not worthy, or like struggling, a sense of feeling that at some stage this person has been through a struggle, that's for sure. and there's unresolved anger, and beneath the anger is this like acute fear of rejection. And it may be that this person actually rejects in order to prevent themselves from being rejected. That's quite a common energy that you pick up with this kind of frequency. And it's not like they want to, there's this hope that you will kind of overcome all these gargantuan tasks in order for them to not feel this. But this is something they're going to have to work through, is my feeling. You can't do it for them, is what my spirit guide is saying here. You can't. Even if you know what the issue is, even if you know how this person could help themselves, you can't do the helping of themselves. It has to be themselves that do that. And I feel that to retract your energy here, to pull back, to kind of wave the white flag, that's what Spirit's saying here, is really the only option in this situation. This is the kind of person that will turn up when the shit hits the fan, and not when things are going well. They won't want to share like good stuff there unless they're gloating or they feel like they've kind of got a point to prove, or they can win. It's more that you're supposed to be there to kind of, I want to say parent them, to be completely honest, and I just don't think, and you're not their parent is what I'm getting, like, unless you are, and then this is an entirely different sort of reading, but there's underlying issues that need to be discussed here. But this is generally they retract because of this situation. I feel like it's been overlaid on you, to be completely honest, though. I feel like, there's underlying, the Ten of Wands. They carry a burden with them. And although the Tens feel like a closure of the cycle, I feel like they like carrying it. Like the Knight of Cups is at the bottom. It's like, they like carrying it around. It kind of benefits them to, like, it's back-breaking is what I'm feeling. They may have issues with their spine or their back or their shoulders here. It could even be hips, but the load, it's the sense of the load that's carrying on with this. And there's not much you can do here. Spirit says, you've just got to, it's like the boy who cried wolf or the girl who cried wolf. It's that kind of sensation here, that until they really are up to their neck in it, they are not going to appreciate what they had with you, or how to reciprocate in the right way. Or I think it's only when your back is against the wall and you're up against it that you really do appreciate the small acts of kindness, and those people that really come to your aid when you're in the quagmire. And even if you put yourself in there, you don't tend to repeat that, but this is a habitual patterning, and it feels quite sad, actually. But I think that's all I've got for you on this one, because again, there's not much you can do here. And the reason why it's really ended is because I just don't think that Spirit wants you to expend your energy and not get anywhere in this situation. So whether they've stopped it or whether you've stopped it, it's the real reason why it just can't work is because this person needs to confront some of that inner wounding, and appreciate that it's not caused by you and it didn't come from you, and it's actually something that is ingrained in their behavior. So I really hope that helped, and if it did, drop me a comment, like, subscribe, share, and it's lovely to have you here. Thanks, bye. Hello to those of you that chose the Carnelian. So the channel I'm getting through for this is interesting. It feels like a real miscommunication issue. It feels like incredibly different frequencies for you and this person. What Spirit is showing me is like a long wave radio signal, and then a shortwave radio signal, and like a completely different tonal frequencies coming through with both of them. For the long wave radio, I feel like I'm listening to like a cricket match or something with casual cups of tea, maybe a pint, cucumber sandwiches, that sort of thing. It's real chill. It's real, like, there's long-term thinking here, there's long-term planning, there's like consistency, organization. It feels future focused, but in a stable way. I'm taking that to be your frequency, but I mean, you can flip it if you want to flip it, or if it doesn't resonate at all, do pick a different stone. But yeah, and then the short-term radio frequency, which I'm taking to be your person, is actually like punching through different radio stations, like bang, 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 like so distractible, so easily like distracted. In the emotional content is what I'm feeling here as well. This person doesn't feel like they are good at commitment at all. It doesn't feel like they are future facing in terms of planning anything. It feels like very chaotic or very, yeah, I mean, the way that the spirit is showing it to me is like this, somebody blurring into vision and blurring back out again. I mean, it literally can't get a fix on the visual because there's such a rapid shifting of energy here, like shape shifting kind of an energetic going on here. And I don't know whether some of these people, and you would already know this, by the way, so, you know, don't go like deciding people are something that they're not, but, or trying to make it fit, but there could be some ADHD issues here. I'm even feeling like personality disorder, borderline personality or something like that. It feels like this person can go from emotionally chill to 500 miles an hour, which is not normal. This is not a normal human thing. In fact, most humans would really struggle to do that. There would have to be like stages of progression in between, but this person literally feels like a number of different energies all like kind of rammed together in a mishmash. And it feels very difficult to get a fix on this frequency because it's so inconsistent. I mean, I feel like one minute I'm listening to rock, the next minute I'm listening to like Japanese pop music. It's that different. It's just so completely changeable, and this person may be easily distractible, particularly emotionally distractible, but I feel like possibly sexually distractible as well, possibly like socially distractible as well, like social butterfly kind of thing. But this would be a kind of frequency that would really struggle to maintain long-term anything or be consistent in any way. I feel like they throw themselves full force into one kind of frequency and then literally jump from that horse to another horse to another horse, and each horse seems to be in a different genre. So like one's a Western and the other is some kind of Palomino style Spanish display. I mean, it literally is so different, like every 5 minutes, which is, you know, very interesting, but also really, really head doing. And I feel like you're the long wave frequency, and I feel like, yeah, I'm hearing the word incompatible. I feel like it's just an incompatible situation. And what I'm getting is a spiritual incompatibility as well here, because the long wave energy is feeling very, it feels like quite a high frequency. It feels very kind of faith driven, spiritually orientated, and that feels like an embedded energy in your life, in your it feels like a significant importance, and it's quite consistent, or maybe there's consistent practice here. Whereas at the other frequency, there may be an interest here, but it's like, you know, one day it's Wicca and the next day it's like Catholicism, and the next day they want to be a Buddhist. It's if they're at all interested in spirituality, which some of them might not be, but I feel for some of them they are, that there's a real inconsistency between words and actions as well going on in this frequency. For me, this person feels like they've got ants in their pants. Any level of consistency feels like a gargantuan task for this individual, not just on a physical level, but on an emotional, spiritual, mental level as well. And I feel, we've got the Ten of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Things may have ended really badly. There may have been a sense of betrayal here. They may, messy, not tied up. Again, we've got Justice creeping out underneath. It could be a karmic situation here, which is kind of designed to make you level up. We've got the Queen of Pentacles creeping out underneath. I don't usually read from the bottom, but I am feeling to pick these cards, and I feel like I feel like that Queen of Pentacles energy is you, and it's consistent, and it's kind of hardworking, and it is like focused, and this other energy is all over the show. And maybe it needed to level you up in terms of what you felt that you were committed to. It feels like this frequency could be very disruptive or very distracting, energetic going on with this person. Untenable, I'm hearing that. My spirit guide saying untenable. It just... there could have been a lot of conflict here is also what I'm feeling, and mainly with both parties looking at each other going, I just don't understand you. Who the hell are you? Like, there's such a different frequency. It feels like your person is trying to decide, like, who the hell they are, what they want. It feels like they can change, like really hugely changeable energy is stepping forward here. They could change their mind according to who they've just spoken to 5 minutes ago at the bus stop. It's that kind of thing. Or they're really fixed on certain things that they've heard that they just keep looping around on. There's always a slice of this or a bit of that, or a smattering of this, and it's interesting because what Spirit showed me is like jumping through those radio stations. There is this sense of continuing to do that is the same thing. It's like repeating the same thing, and I'm hearing if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got, because although this person seems to change a lot, they are not changing fundamentally. They don't change fundamentally. Like they are consistently distractible. That's what I'm getting. Whereas this long wave frequency, which I associate with you, is feeling like it moves through different spaces or zones, or there's progression or energy here. It rolls into different arenas or spaces or modes of being, but it's done much more organically. It's like the seasons changing. It's more organic. Okay, yeah, whereas it's almost like, does your person have a problem with stimulants? This is like speed or coke or some kind of medication maybe, or caffeine even, or this is like hyper energetic. That's why I'm feeling that maybe ADHD thing. There is just this hyper energy around this person. It's kind of crazy. It's full on. It's like a toddler that's drunk way too much, like a fizzy pop that morning, and is just running around roaring and like knocking things about. And when this person gets into a particular mode or particular mindset, like nothing will break that. They're totally immersed in that moment, and it's very much like living in the moment, and it's great and everything, but like I'm guessing they're not a toddler. I'm guessing. Two of Wands. I feel like this is your energy. I feel like this is you like making a decision to focus on yourself and to focus on your goals ahead. I feel like there's strong consistency coming through with this frequency. There's strong kind of decisional space here. Whether you've made the decision to kind of close this down, or you're kind of wondering why this person has closed this down. If it's this person that's closed this down, Spirit, what the hell? Why is a distraction? That's what I'm getting. They're distracted. They were on to the next shiny thing. That's what I'm getting. And that sounds really brutal, but like they literally follow like a trail of, I'm seeing like fairy tale allegories and like following a the treasure hunt kind of feeling, or like this person could have breadcrumbed you. I'm seeing that as well, because I'm seeing like a bird or something, like hopping from one breadcrumb to another, to another, to another, to another. It's like the magpie energy of like, it's shiny, I'm going over here, or I'm going over there, or I'm hearing cuckoo as well. Does this person cuckoo? That could be a factor here. They could go set up nest and then destroy that or destroy like something to do with it, or like cuckoo themselves into a setup or a family, or and then cuckoo out again. There is a definite like springing kind of energy around this that is unpredictable. It's like watching a flea. It's like, oh, it's there, now it's over there, now it's over there. Like, I don't think this person knows. They just don't slow down enough, is what I'm getting. It's just like, yeah. They need to see the truth here with the Ace of Swords. They need to take it steady with the Four of Swords. If they don't slow down, if they don't like really take time to consider their actions, all they get is like conflict. All they will get is conflict. And it's a mental energy. It's strong mental energy coming through, which is part of the reason why this person would behave the way they do. Maybe you've called time on this for some of you, and it's, or maybe they have, because again, I feel like if this person's ghosted or they've gone dark, it's because they're distracted. They're distracted. They're doing something else with somebody else because it's a new radio station. It's a new frequency. But it's the same thing over and over and over. Yeah, I feel like it would be very exhausting, number one, to deal with this person. I feel like you want a new emotional beginning and you're tired. And you've had to take some time out to recuperate maybe, or replenish your reserves on an emotional level, because this person will like drain, because I feel like they're really caught up in their emotional content, and Spirit is showing me like whirlpools. They get caught up in an emotional whirlpool and then they're out of it, then they're in another one, and yeah, like I say, it's like 0 to 500 miles an hour, and it's not normal. This is not normal. I do feel like there's a lot of affection here, though, a lot of love. I do feel like they would really like to be sort of more consistent, but maybe they need to be assessed, or there is some kind of drug, or this is the sort of person that might react or respond very differently to drugs than others. I feel like there's a hypersensitivity to substances here. Even things like sugar, or which will tip them over the edge in terms of alcohol, or because I feel like that sugar content in the alcohol is actually more impactful than the alcohol. It's just but they could be quite addicted to those kinds of substances, or to playing with the different mental frames of their reality. Person is essentially quite sad. I'm picking that up too. Like, there's a real sorrow in this person's energy, and it's almost like they're just hopping from colourful thing to colourful thing, because to stand still or stop brings up a great deal of conflict in the emotional space, or considering the impact of their actions, or the lack of thinking involved in their actions here, or the recklessness. All of these energies could be associated with this person. Spirit might have got them stuck, though. The Hanged Man. I think they put a big fat pause on this situation. For you maybe to change your perspective, for this person to change their perspective. Yeah, they've got 3 of Wands at the bottom of the deck. So it's like, in order to look ahead, to look at opportunities, or look out for opportunities that may come in, that otherwise you don't want to be distracted with the 3 of Wands. The 3 of Wands needs to be alert. It needs to be looking out for what's good on the horizon, what's coming in that's an opportunity. And there may be a pause put in place here with Spirit, or like a hold, or stop even, or because, and I'm hearing the sacrificial energy is coming through quite strong here with the Hanged Man, in order to be able to take advantages of opportunities. This is like a long-term frequency. If you're not open to the new things that are coming in, you might miss them. Spirit doesn't want you to miss them. They want you to change your perspective. And I don't feel like this person, I don't feel like they'll change. They'll have to realise that there's something amiss here, or something, you know, not quite right here. There's something not quite right here. Or they'll have to like really like kill all stimulants, like stop taking sugar or stimulants or some kind of, or the wrong sorts of medication or the wrong sorts of drugs even, because it's really kind of unraveling. I'm hearing the word unraveling them. Knight of Cups. I do feel like there's love here. I do. I feel like this person feels very romantic about you. But Ten of Swords again at the bottom. Again, the Knight of Cups can be a bit of a charmer, right? Bit of a like all in emotionally, and then sudden energy of betrayal. So this person, like, they could have gone dark or ended this situation because there's another romantic situation here, if this is a romantic connection, or there's something that they think is really shiny that will end in destruction again, that will end in a really messy situation again, because this person is a knight. It's not a king or a queen coming up. You, however, Queen of Swords, I feel like if you haven't cut away from this energy that you are being encouraged to, and again, in order to take the hand, the invisible hand here, belonging to something or someone else, that this is offering you elevation. Look, it's assisting her to be getting up out of the seat. That's what it feels like, leaning forward to be like taking a stand, or leaning forward to be kind of, you know, taking that role or being that way that you know that you are. So for me, you are like that Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Swords. Like, there's an energy here of long term, but also like strong boundary, fairness to the self. This is an ethical queen as well. Like, she lives by the ethics. Like, without her ethics, she is like lacking in identity. This is, you know, somebody that will stand up for their principles. And I feel like the Three of Cups at the bottom of the deck could be your person, easily distractible. Look, there's multiple parties here. This could be somebody who's like just constantly hopping from relationship to relationship, or constantly hopping from person to person, or exciting shiny thing to exciting shiny thing. They need to work on things. They need to be consistent. And that's not what's coming through. Again, I'm feeling that substances could be an issue here with that 3. Or partying, or like exciting energy, an energy that hits their kind of zany vibration, and then it just is a spiral from there. Why did it really end? Because they had found something shiny, and they may have caused an enormous amount of destruction just to hop into something else. Just to, you know, created conflict potentially just to hop in to something else. It's not pleasant, but it's a surefire way to end things. But I just don't feel like this person likes to conclude energetic. I feel like they like to feel single, even if they're involved with, you know, other people. They like to feel single, but at the moment they may feel that they've missed the boat. 4 of Cups. They may feel, see that cup up there next to the skull? It feels like, you know, that's not on offer anymore, or you're not on offer anymore. And if you, because I feel like you're the Queen of Swords energy. I wanted to say wands there as well, you know. I think you've got it going on, basically. And I feel like this is what Spirit is showing me here is there's a complete incompatibility between these two frequencies, and one is like constantly hungry for stimulation. That's what I'm getting, which is why I'm like, are stimulants a problem? Or, you know, even downers to kind of calm down the stimulant, natural stimulant energy. But yeah, this person is reckless, is what I want to say. I feel like Spirit is saying to you, there with the Temperance, that there is strong spiritual energy in your camp. There's strong spiritual support. Then with the Eight of Pentacles here, often that can indicate a job or a new job or an elevation in your work or a house move even. I feel like it's like, stay balanced and stay grounded. Keep working on what you're working on. If you are working on an elevation, or if you're working on a move in the physical in any way, even if that's elevating your sense of well-being and health, stay focused on that, stay grounded. For me, the Temperance energy can often be like the tightrope walker. It's very well balanced. If you feel like you fall off, you get back on again, because you don't learn to walk a tightrope without falling off, right? And I feel, you know, when the Temperance falls off, for me, it falls off into the Devil energy. And so it's like falling off the wagon and then getting back on, like kind of thing. So maybe there's something that you've had to overcome here, or an addiction, or a kind of tie to this person, or a sense of feeling codependency or obsession, or any of those energies. But I feel like you've overcome, and Spirit is saying, yeah, just keep working, just keep working. You are really well balanced. The Two of Swords at the bottom of the deck, look at the balancing here. This is not a time necessarily to take strong actions. This is a temporary pause in activity. It's designed, with that Hanged Man coming up earlier, to change your perspective on what's going on here. But I feel like it's ended because there was a total incongruity between your frequency and this person's frequency, like completely. On a maturity level, for sure. There could have been a big age difference. I'm not saying that's a problem at all, or has anything to do with maturity, can be completely honest. But there's definitely like a gulf in maturity in this situation, and you are occupying the much more mature energy than this person. I'm getting, like, Spirit showing me like a pacifier now. It's like, seriously, there's childish, toddler style possible tantrums, and it all kind of like caught up in the romance of things, like somebody caught up in the romance who now feels like they've missed out because possibly it's kind of over, or they're sulking about something, or why is it over, Spirit? Like, why did it really end here? Nine of Cups. And I've just seen the Four of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Somebody needs peace. I think that's you. There's a desire for like peace. And if Spirit can't bring it to you via this person, they're going to just get rid of the person. Sorry to say, but you know, you need some kind of easiness to the energetic around you, because disturbance will knock you off balance right now, and you could wind up back in devil energy if that's where you've come from, or you could wind up just feeling really knocked. You need to stand in the eye of the storm. That's what I'm hearing Spirit say, and be very determined about what is right for you in this situation. The Three of Cups and the Seven of Cups. Now this is, this is your person. This is what makes your person happy, is what I'm getting. Multiple options, shiny options all the time, in possibly with multiple people, multiple social situations. And that is what makes this person feel happy. They don't want to stand still for long enough to work out there's actually deep pain here. There's actually deep sorrow in this person's energy. They think that if they're happy in the moment, then they're happy. And, there's a lot to be said for that, because happiness is not something that is like down the road. It's not a goal that you can attain. It kind of, you live in the moment. All those moments of happiness accumulate to like overarching happiness. But what I'm considering here is that there is an underlying energy. They do love you though. 2 of Cups. There's a lot of love here. There's a lot of love here. They're just working on their ability to overview. We've got the King of Swords at the bottom. Again, I feel that's your energy. And I feel that's what you need as well if this is a romantic situation. Knight of Wands. And then the Queen of Wands. I was picking her up earlier. Like, I feel like your person is a knight. And you are in the royal family as a sovereign, whereas a king or a queen is sovereign energy. And it's lesser than, this is not mature enough. It's almost like toddler, teenager kind of an energetic. And love for this person is based around, maybe sudden desire or sudden romance or sudden, I feel like they're really swept up in emotional content of the moment, and that's all they see. I mean, it's very inadvertently selfish energy, and it's just inadvertently ego driven. And until this person is forced by life to like go into a hermit mode or have to stand still or is abandoned by all their various options, they will not voluntarily do so, is what I'm getting. And I really hope that resonated with you, but I think that's all I've got for you. It's just not compatible, this one, for me. So yeah, continue being king or queen of your jurisdiction. And I would call it a day with this individual if you haven't already, because they will cause kind of reckless childlike carnage, or that they're just not somebody that is, commitment's not their thing. Okay, hope that helped, and do drop me a comment if it did, and like, subscribe, and all the rest of it. Lovely to see you, and I'll see you again. Hello to those of you that chose the Labradorite here. So what am I feeling for this one? I feel that it ended after a period of time with this one, and I think it was because somebody in this situation felt that this could not ground, or that I'm seeing the 6 of Pentacles in my mind, and what I'm getting here is that somebody felt that they were not receiving energetically what they were putting into things energetically. And whether this is, you or your person, take the energy as it resonates for you. I am feeling that with this one, there is a sorrow about the departure, or sorrow about the ending of this situation, but it's felt like I feel like I don't have a choice. That's what I'm getting. I'm getting somebody feeling like they don't really have a choice but to end it. I'm feeling like it's because they didn't feel any energy coming back, or they felt that things had just gone, they dried up in some kind of way, or that there was it could have been a lack of consistency here too that bothered this person. Or this could be you. Like I say, do flip this energy if it's necessary, and if it doesn't resonate, do pick a different stone. But there is this sense of like sadness around this, a sadness of having to feel, and it could be like a slipping out the back door kind of a feeling with this, where there's a kind of fizzling out of the energetic here, which could have been on both sides. It doesn't have to be just on one side, but it's almost like it feels like it was a rocky road. That's what I'm seeing, like a rocky pathway, or a pathway that one person I feel here was really hopeful that things could level out, or that there could be I don't know, like an authentic communication or an open-hearted communication, but that didn't feel like it was forthcoming, or there's an energy of being closed off that's coming through here. Dealing with someone who was closed off, or maybe they thought this way about you, that there was a sense of there's some kind of block here to the communication. There's some kind of issue around the communication. Somebody wanting just consistency and peace is what I'm getting, or maybe both here. But it feels like somebody needing to put down the burden in order to level themselves out, or heal, or just say, okay, I've done everything that I can do here. I've been everything that I can be here, and I've got nowhere to go now. I've got nothing that I can give now. I've done what I can. I've done what I can in this situation, and I'm sad about it, but I'm closing the door on this, or I'm ending this situation because what can I do? Because there's no feedback. There's repetition of energy that could be a factor here. It feels like it's stuck in a groove, or there's some kind of monotony, or there's some kind of repeating of the same issues, or repeating of themselves, or maybe this is you. There is this sense of hoping that things would change, or hoping that there would be some kind of breakthrough or some kind of realization, but somebody here feels really underappreciated. They don't feel that there's the same level of investment, and this could be like an emotional investment, or it could be like the actual practical physicality of the energy as well here. I do feel like there's a go in peace kind of feeling. There's a kind of, I don't feel that this person or you maybe like it feels any ill will about this, or they just want to let it lie. They just want to move on. They just want a new emotional beginning is what I'm getting. They want to connect or reconnect with the joyful energy that I felt that may have kind of gone by the side or by the wayside, or somebody feels that their efforts were wasted. This may be, please don't shoot the messenger. This is hard to hear if you feel that this could be resonating with your person, but this is what I'm getting for this one. The King of Cups flipped out, and it flipped up upside down, and it's almost like I'm feeling with this that there was a lot of love, but there was a running out of love in this situation. But there's still compassion here is what I'm getting. There's still compassion and in the space. And then the Four of Cups is underneath. I feel like this is kind of the other person, like whichever energy that you sit in, this is like a stagnancy. This is a feeling that something's over and is really unhappy about this. Ace of Cups, like somebody's closed this down for a new emotional beginning, for replenishment, for feeling better in themselves. I feel like this could have been very taxing or exhausting, or that there was a lot of love here, a lot of emotional content that it felt this, whether it's you, whether it's them, there was a feeling that it wasn't reciprocated. There was a feeling that the same care, consideration, input, like time, investment was not reciprocated, and it feels like it was very emotional, a very emotional journey, maybe a very rocky emotional journey, or this person just wants peace and quiet or ease, or to take things steady is what I'm getting. The Ten of Wands, it felt like a burden. And I feel like the burden's been laid down, because with the Ten of Wands, a lot for me, this can mean like carrying other people's emotional content, or carrying problems, or trying to help people fix themselves, or, feeling that there's only one person involved that is like sensible, or is like willing to do the work, or is willing to invest, lost, and it feels here that there's like an absence is what I'm getting for the other person. Like it wasn't, there's a kind of absent energy in regards to the holding of this space, or the holding of the relationship, or, you know, the two-way street kind of an energy. It's like there's a real resignation feeling coming through. It's really like waving the white flag and saying, okay, there's nothing more here that I'm getting back. I'm not getting back what I'm putting into this situation, and it feels really tiring, and it feels really exhausting, and it feels like I just want to lay down the burden and give myself a closure, or give myself an energy that is just, yeah. And we've got strength at the bottom of the deck. For me, it felt like a lot for somebody here to like push through and to not be provoked as well, is what I'm getting, or embroiled in argumentative energy. Or I feel like somebody had a lot of pride or a lot of stubbornness, and that could have been the death of this, is what I'm getting from this situation. It could have been the ending, because I feel like that was almost like a block or an obstacle or a hurdle or a burden. You know, somebody's carrying all of it, and it's starting to injure their fire force. It's starting to injure their drive, their motivation, their will to carry on, is what I'm feeling. And that can have an impact on other aspects of somebody's life if they feel they're holding everything. And again, this could be you, that you just like, I've held everything, and it's like somebody in the, I don't know, taking things less seriously, or causing conflict or drama, or emotional situations that don't need to be there, or obstacles. And again, there's a strong pride energy here. There's a strong like, well, I'm holding on to my pride and I'm not budging. And then another person is feeling like, well, I can't give any more to this situation. I've given so much, and possibly a lot of time to the energy, and feeling like they've wasted their time and they don't want anything more to do with the other person's potential issues or potential chaos. Or, I mean, it doesn't have to be that extreme even. It's more just like not feeling a reciprocation, or not feeling the same level of investment. And it could be that the investment energy is different for each party here. It could be that one person considers like the earth energy or the coin energy as the investment, and another person thinks it's to do with the emotional content. There's some kind of misalignment with what investment looks like here, and what that, you know, how to balance out an equation. But I'm feeling like there's one party that feels that the other one just didn't really, just stopped putting good energy into the situation, or stopped caring how they were feeling or what they were carrying, or the pressures they may have been under, or what was going on in their world, and it was all about the other person's world. It feels like, well, I've tried, and there's some kind of perseverance that's happened here. But somebody has just gone, do you know what, I can't give anything else to this. There's nothing left here, because there's no feedback. There's no energetic feedback. I feel like this person doesn't care whether I'm here or whether I'm not here, so I'm just going to go. That's the feeling. Or it's just too much for this person on an emotional level to deal with, continually feeling like they're having to help or support or lead or be at the service of, or it suits one party and not the other. That's what I'm getting. It's suited one party and not the other in this situation. And the party it hasn't suited has called time. That's what I'm getting. The Hierophant. Yeah, somebody here was like up for commitment at the Empress at the bottom of the deck. Somebody wanted something like strong and capable and stable and, you know, invested. And there's a strong concept of wanting like a long-term commitment or marriage or a family or like a home space and it feels very like, well, I'm not going to get that here. And this is what I want, so I'm not prepared to compromise on what I truly want. I'm hearing close one door. You have to close one door for another one to open. So it feels like somebody here wanted a new, because I am seeing the Ace of Cups, I feel like somebody wanted a new emotional beginning, a replenishment, a sense of feeling emotionally connected, or a sense of intimacy that just didn't, it's not feeling like was there any longer. Queen of Pentacles coming up. Again, that's that stable, committed, like consistent setup. You know, it's the maternal energy, it's the spousal energy. Somebody here, I feel like, felt like it was a burden to try and get to that frequency or that it wasn't mirrored by the other person, or maybe somebody else, or somebody who's married in this situation and that was an obstacle or a problem, or committed to their family over other things. Or yeah, it feels more like the family energy is coming from the person that's had to call time and just kind of gone, oh, do you know what, I want something that is long-term stable or long-term consistent, or that just is, that matches the things that I consider investment. So there is a serious energy, and I feel like this person is putting a lot of time or effort or legwork to this situation, and it is just wound up feeling not reciprocated, or that there's an emotional absence from the other person, or that they're caught up in their own stuff, or their own kind of issues is what I'm getting. And so I feel like somebody here was very much leaned on, while it was convenient to lean on this person because they're very strong and able to hold space, it's not giving them room to be who they are in a lighter aspect. There's no reciprocation. There's like, it's run dry. Yeah, the Five of Pentacles. The feeling of being neglected on the emotional level is what is coming through. The feeling of being like a lack of investment from the other party, a feeling of being cast out, a feeling of being like sidelined or considered of limited significance, or other priorities put ahead of them, like on a continual basis, to the point where they're like, do you know what, this is not what I want anymore. The Ace of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Like, the truth of the matter is that I want to cut free from this energy, and I want to move away from it, and I want to, like, I'm heavy with it. There's a heaviness with that Ten of Wands, with that, the sense of this kind of demoralization, or this is really sad, or this is, you know, where we find ourselves, and I just don't feel seen, I just don't feel appreciated, I just don't feel celebrated, I don't feel that you're that interested on the emotional level. I don't necessarily, it might be that this person feels like, although there was a lot of love from them, that it wasn't, that the other person didn't love them, or that there was like maybe distractions, or it feels like when things were going steady, there was a boulder placed in the road by a party here that didn't need to be there almost, or that was, you know, that caused difficulty or delay or obstacles, or it's like somebody constantly trying to slow the progress, and it's very wearing, and or creating issues, that mountains out of molehills, that's what I'm hearing. Yeah, it's a difficult one to know where the energy stands here, because I feel like for some of you it could be that that's you, and for others of you it could be that that's how your person's seeing it. And like I say, like, that's why they've decided to kind of sort of pull out of the situation, or slip out the back door, or go dark, or conclude it. It's because they're not feeling, whoever's ended this situation did not feel appreciated, did not feel respected, did not feel seen, did not feel, at the end of the day, like they knew the other person, is what I'm feeling. Like things weren't going to change, that it was always going to be a trial, or it was always on them to do the moving of the obstacles, or the emotional work, or the work is what I'm getting towards, like the end goal. And I think it ended up being very demoralizing, and they're very fed up, and the other person is like, I need a new beginning, like I need a new, it could be in a third party situation, again with that Hierophant energy that came up earlier. There could have been someone else in the mixture here, or a past frequency that just that hasn't been dealt with, or that they felt they couldn't live up to, or that they was just like felt compared with, or it's any of those things where they're like, do you know what, I've had enough of feeling that I'm in competition with a ghost, potentially, or the competition with the ghost of the ex. It could be in a romantic situation, or but it's feeling like I don't want to invest anymore in this. I just don't feel that there's feedback. I don't feel that there's a level of interest in my world or my situation. And this could have been sort of a petering out conclusion. It could have been concluded on a few occasions, or that it's like each time there's less desire to kind of reinvest, because I feel like the patterns within this relationship weren't changing. It was stagnant. And it's kind of only after the ending of this that it's going to be appreciated for the work or time or effort, or the way that in which the person invested energetically into this relationship. It's exhausting. That person needed a break, needed peace, needed like some kind of mental clarity. I feel like there was a lot of time. There was a lot of time that this person invested into this situation, feeling and hoping that things would change, but things haven't changed or altered, or the other person's still going through the same things, like, or it almost feels like one party here expects the other party to kind of fix their problems, or to constantly listen to the same issues over and over again, but because there's an energetic fix that might occur, like a plaster, like briefly, but then that doesn't last, because the underlying issue needs to be dealt with by the person who's experiencing those underlying issues. It's not anyone else's responsibility, but this is expecting the other person to carry the responsibility of those underlying issues that we are responsible for in our own right. And almost a desire not to change them, because they kind of want to be rescued, or they want to feel that they're with somebody who's like strongly capable of dealing, but they don't want to deal. So I think there could be a fear of being alone here as well, standing on your own 2 feet here, as part of an issue, so like a codependent energy or a neediness. about one person needing the other person to be available, or the other person to be there when they need them to be there and not when they don't want them to be there. And it suits one person. It suits one party and not the other. And it's too much of a burden. It's too much of a weight on the person it doesn't suit. Because they've got other things that they've been holding down, or other priorities here as well, or they want their fire force back, they want their mojo back, they want their drive back. It feels like a very exhausting, long, rocky, obstacle-ridden, tiring process, where at the end of the day somebody sat down and gone, what am I getting out of this? And the answer is nothing that I want. Nothing that I want at this point in my life. 9 of Wands. Again, like, this is a burden to the fire force. This is a wounded energy. This is an energy of feeling trampled on, or, overlooked, or victimized, or sidelined, or just hurt. Just generally hurt. And it could be about, like, hurt by the communication issues, which was what was coming up earlier. Hurt by the way in which, like, language is shared or communicated. There's a lot of Wands energy up here, but I'm feeling like and it might have been like that somebody else experienced this quite swiftly, or it was out of the blue, or that but it's not out of blue for the person that felt burdened. It's not. It's been a long process for them to get to the ending of this situation. It's like wounded by maybe a lack of communication, or wounded by something that was said, or again, it's that kind of repetitious energy, or the hang on a second. I'm just going to pause for a sec. So what I'm actually getting with this is that, like, a lot of words, but limited change in the action. So loads of words, maybe lots of communication at some stage, but it doesn't go anywhere. And it just ends up really injuring one of the parties here, because, like, there is hurtful energy involved in the communication, or in the way things are communicated up here. And then we've got the 6 of Pentacles underneath. Somebody did not feel heard in this situation. They did not feel seen. They did not feel heard. They did not feel that what they had to say was of significance to the other person, or how they acted was of significance. It's like meaningless words, but it has to be backed up with action. That's what I'm getting. Somebody didn't feel that they were getting a fair deal here, that they were on the poor end of the scale, that it suits one party who wants to communicate as and when, or in the way that suits them, but not the other party, who may have a different style of communication, or a different way of showing love language. Or it just feels like they tried for an equal balance. Somebody here has really tried for equality, tried for communication to be a two-way street, tried to remove obstacles, tried to work on themselves, carried a lot of the responsibility in regards to this situation or this relationship, took it on their own back, kept the fire force alive, and then got to a point where they were like, I can't, it's actually impacting on my sense of stability. It's impacting possibly in the physical. So I'm now going to look for alternative options, or I'm going to look for opportunities to come my way that are better suited for me here. And I'm sad about this situation, but I just can't do this. It's just not working for me. I'm not feeling the same way as I was feeling. It's almost like that expression that's coming through is like, you want something long enough and then you don't. Like, it's too much time has passed with minimal things changing, with obstacles that they thought they'd overcome, being brought back up again and up again and up again, because one person can't overcome the obstacles in a relationship. It has to be a two-way energy. The Hierophant is coming up again. So somebody here could well have been married or wanted commitment, but I feel like with the World at the end, they're like, you know, I've been committed here. I've tried to share my wisdom. I've tried to be supportive. I've kept the faith. I'm hearing that too. I've kept the faith. And now it's the World, it's the end of the cycle. And again, I feel like it's not like brutal. There is just this, I'm backing out of this situation. I'm sorry, I'm slipping out the back door, or you could it's very, you saw this coming. Somebody saw this coming. Like, it might have closed out quite quickly, but it was coming. It was coming for some time. There were red flags here, is what I'm getting. There were warnings, there were signals, it might have been somebody that even communicated that they couldn't go on for much longer, or that it wasn't suitable, or that there was, you know, in all honesty, they didn't feel appreciated, or they didn't feel like it was a two-way street, and they've setting out to find a new beginning with the Fool, jumping into something new, King of Pentacles, into a grounded energy, or they want somebody who's very grounded, or they want somebody that they can be in a consistent setup with, or have a family with, or have a comfortable home life with, or they're just focusing on their own stability and on their money. The High Priestess, there is strong intuition here. I feel like, you know, if you've closed out on this, it's because you were carrying everything. It's because intuitively you know that things haven't changed. Yeah, there's like the heartbreak here. Again, could well be a third party situation where somebody was just not into like matching the level of commitment of the other person, or carrying an equal load, is what I'm feeling, or any of the load. And this caused immense heartbreak. And you know, maybe you know that there's another party involved, or you knew, like, you had this feeling that there was something else going on here, or that, you know, maybe somebody left for a third party. Or if you're the consistent energy here, if you're the Queen of Pence, King of Pence kind of feeling, like the High Priestess, I feel like if it's ended because the other person didn't put in any energy, that this person is actually now really cut up about it and intuitively knows why. They know why it ended. And I feel like you know why it ended as well. There's a real level of, you don't know what you've got till it's going on here. And it may have reignited this person's desire, is what I'm getting, but unless action is taken behind the words, and then a whole deal of time and effort put in, I just can't see this matching. It's not matching. It suits somebody and not the other person, and it's not okay to continue in situations like that where only one person is putting in the effort. Four of Pentacles, but somebody is holding on. They are holding on to this situation. They don't want it to fail. Seven of Pentacles underneath. They don't want to have, like, they're trying to be patient. They're holding on. I feel like if it's you that's closed it, you've already been there. You've held on. You were really patient. There was an offer of love, of you know, a committal energy that's going along with this, or a consistency, or very wise energy, of like High Priest, High Priestess, free flavor coming through, that without the action to back up the words, without actively seeing change, without actively being able to feel like a communication was a two-way street, or the other person was as invested as you were potentially, then this is a no-go. Five of Wands. There's conflict here. And Five of Swords, you know, a lot of conflict, a lot of mean words, a lot of mean language. And then the Eight of Cups, somebody just can't hack it and they walk away. They're like, I'm done. I'm done with this jockeying for position. I'm done with potential comparative energy or bullshit or the ghost of the ex or anything like that, or I'm done with the actively trying to provoke. The strength card is right underneath again. I've put up with it. It's been wounding. It's been really hard. It's been an enormous burden, but it's too much for me. It's too much. Really hope that resonated, and if it did, please drop me a comment, let me know. So lovely to connect with you, and take care. Bye.